What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB Recap. We have a lot to talk about today. The two-timer went three-timer yesterday. Bryce Harper was 0 for 11 to begin the season, and he broke out in a big way. Mookie Betts, he's only a one-time MVP winner, but he might already have his second on lock. He has 5 home runs. All of this former MVP talk had Bellinger feeling left out, so naturally, he hit a scoreboard. Yelich, he found a barrel as well, and by the way, Josh Hader, methinks he might have forgotten how to do his job. Before we get into the recap, a tip of the cap to you guys. We gained over 500 brand new subscribers yesterday. We're getting so close to 500,000. And also, just a reminder, MLB Recap is presented by SeatGeek. Use code Fuzzy to save 20 bucks off your tickets. And if you like fantasy sports, you have to download Underdog Fantasy. It is so much fun to pick which players are going to break out every single day. Use code Fuzzy on Underdog Fantasy, and they will match your first deposit up to $100. Before we show the highlights, 2 super quick roster updates. The Giants have in fact traded Joey Bart to the 5-0 undefeated Pirates. Please, baseball gods, let him break out a little bit. And then also Mike Clevenger, he is headed back to the South Side. He only got $3 million, which to me is kind of surprising considering he was pretty good last year. He had a 3.77 ERA and 131 innings, so he goes to the White Sox. Bryce Harper entered his first at bat 0 for 11 with 5 strikeouts, and there he is. He's on the board, 420 feet to dead center. Will Benson of the Reds, he tied it up in the third on another extra base hit. He is so good, but so is this guy. The two-timer is now 2 for 2 with 2 home runs. By the way, that was his 1,000th career run scored. A big shout out to Spencer Turnbull, who only allowed 1 run in the third inning. He also didn't walk anyone, and he struck out 7 on just 3 base hits. He was really good for the Tigers before Tommy John, so hopefully he can bounce back. Bryce Harper showed off the leather this time around. Christian Walker is going to have some Gold Glove competition at first base. Speaking of Gold Glove, look at Will Benson. He could win multiple. He's that good, at least in my opinion. He robs Harper of another RBI extra base hit. Schwarber, who by the way looks a lot skinnier, he drove in a run, and Harper did it again. You don't throw a pitch low and into a lefty. That is a mistake pitch, even though it was a ball. I mean, again, he's Bryce Harper. He's the chosen one. You don't do that. Ricardo Pinto, he went 4 innings for the save. So yeah, you can win by more than 3 and get a save if you go 4 innings. I was kind of shocked to see that Logan Webb is 3-0 in Dodger Stadium, considering Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman, they both rake against Webb. Mookie, he blooped in a single. He stole second like 3 seconds later, and then Freddie, he's been getting a lot of RBI opportunities because everyone has been on base, and also Ohtani, he hasn't hit a home run yet. Now, the Giants wanted to have their pitchers back. They grabbed the lead on singles from Nick Ahmed and Michael Conforto. The lead is now gone. Mookie, he's been unconscious to start the year, 500 batting average with 5 home runs, 11 RBIs, and 14 runs scored in a handful of games. He has 8 walks to 4 strikeouts, so he is seeing beach balls right now. He's currently on pace for 101 home runs. The Dodgers, they kept pouring it on. Good for Gavin Lux. He had a weird spring. A lot of haters came out the woodworks, but that's an RBI double, which has to feel great. Enrique Hernandez, he pushed it to a 5-2 game, knocking Webb out the game. Soler, he knocked that pitch out the park. And then Max Muncy, for some reason, maybe because he was winning, he chose not to throw home for an easy out. He tried to go for the double play. No double play. The run scores. It's a 1-run game. Jung-Hoo Lee, he singled in the 9th inning, so things were getting a little bit scary, but Evan Phillips, he clutched up with a slider away. Matt Chapman, he swings and he misses. He does a lot of that, but he's still really good. Either way, the Dodgers, they win 5-4. So LA picks up their 6th win of the season, and the Yankees are looking for their 6th win in a row. They are a perfect 5-0 to begin 2024. Juan Soto cannot figure out Zach Gallen for his career. He is now 3 for 20 versus Zach after that double play. Nasty Nestor, he hasn't been very nasty in the first innings of either of his 2 starts this year. And Arizona, they showed that. They brought all of his flaws to light. I think they had 5 or 6 base hits in the first inning alone. They scored 3 on singles from Blaze Alexander, Eugenio Suarez, and Gabriel Moreno. And it's just not great to have that happen if you're going against Zach Gallen, because he made the Yankees lineup look like a AAA team. That's how uncomfortable the Yankees looked all night long. He went 6 shutout on 6 punchies. He's trying to finally get that elusive first Cy Young. Obviously, he's going to have a lot of competition. Christian Walker, he's probably not going to win it, but he wants his first MVP, and he's been so good over the last few years. He plays Gold Glove defense. He's got 3 home runs and 8 RBIs in 6 games. I know Harper pretty much had that in 1 game, whatever. Arizona got their 7th run after Austin Wells missed a block, and Yankees fans were not happy with that. So the Yankees, they do lose their first game of the season, and that's a ball game. This might sound a little bit harsh, but Kyle Freeland should be arrested and charged for identity theft. He had a 2.8 ERA, and he was 4th in Cy Young back in 2018. He used that to get $65 million from the Rockies over 5 years. I mean, Seiya, he got a 92 middle fastball. Yeah, okay, Kyle Freeland, what a great pitch to throw. awesome idea. Seiya with the 2-run home run. Later, Garrett Cooper, he saw that KB was in right field talking about Chris Bryant, and he knew that Chris Bryant cannot make that catch. That's a triple, and Nick Madrigal, he knocked in Coop. Morel, he didn't need any help on that swing. When he makes contact, even if he kind of misses it and the wind is blowing, it has a chance of going very, very far. Now we head to the 5th. Bases loaded for Nick Madrigal. Brendan Doyle, he's going to try and lay out and save his pitcher, and it gets past him for a 2-run double. Ian Happ, he played a belly in the 4th. So the Cubs are 3 away from 10. Yes, I am setting up a 3-run home run. Garrett Cooper, he still has some gas left in the tank. He's 33 going on 34, I believe. That's his first home run of the year. I feel bad for Rockies fans, though, so here you go. It didn't really mean much, but Michael Toglia with the 2-run home run, cool. That was a 421-foot 2-run home run, and of course, Chicago, they had to ruin the moment. Belly went 425, so he even beat Michael Toglia for a 2-run home run. Colorado, they fall to a 1-5 record. Kyle Freeland now has a 27 ERA on the season with 19 hits allowed and 17 runs in 5 2/3. He's been historically bad. So we just saw Belly, who won the NL MVP back in 19. So let's go find the 2023 MVP and his Atlanta Braves. Now they did have to face the buzzsaw and Garrett Crochet. This kid looks downright terrifying. He's got a leg kick to the heavens, and I'm sure if I tried to do that 90 times in one game, I would tear at least 5 hamstrings. He blanked the Braves for 6 shutouts to begin this game with a bunch of strikeouts. He just really needs some run support, and lucky for Garrett, his buddy Gavin Sheets, he was saving his first hit of the season for him. 1-0 Sox. And that just makes me sad. The Braves, they don't like losing, and they tied it up moments later on a Marcell Ozuna wall scraper. But Garrett is back in line for the W because Paul DeJong is a pinch hit prince. He's not really, but it sounded cool. Chicago, they're back up by 1, but Atlanta, they started a nerve-wracking rally pretty soon after that. Kopech, he needs a ground ball, and he gets it. Riley, he rolls his wrist to end the threat. And Chicago, they got a big insurance run on a single from Andrew Vaughn. It was big because Ozuna, he went yard again. Do not let that guy get hot. That time it wasn't very close. It was not a wall scraper. Kopech, he allowed a walk. Then an Orlando Arcia single. Things were getting just tight. If you're a White Sox fan, you want to try and get a W. Kopech, he got the job done. He popped him up, and the White Sox, they will not go 0-162. Staying with an AL Central team, the Guardians might actually have their ace back. Shane Bieber has been historically good. He's been the opposite of Kyle Freeland. Again, he's been historic to begin 2024. He struck out Canzone in the 2nd for his first strikeout of the night. And Luis Castillo, he was just as nasty through the first few innings. He had 2 strikeouts in the 3rd. He got Rocchio looking, Andres Jimenez swinging. Luis had 6 strikeouts through 3 innings. Now Cleveland, they were threatening in the 4th, and they were blessed. Mitch Haniger, he laid that hard hit from Brennan. Brennan has been smacking the ball this year, just very unlucky. He gets lucky right there. J-Ram, he flies around to score, and Bo Naylor is insane. It's not easy to barrel up a Luis Castillo any pitch, whether it's a changeup, a sinker, whatever he's throwing. There's so much movement on his pitches. He and his brother Rake, both he and Josh, and then there's the younger brother Miles Naylor, who is probably the best of all of them. Bieber, he kept on shredding. He struck out the side in the 5th, and he wasn't done there. 2 more strikeouts in the 6th. Polanco on a swing and miss. Garber, the exact same thing. He leaves with 9 strikeouts after 6 shutout. Through 12 innings, he has 20 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 0 runs. Emmanuel Clase is also looking nastier this year. He struck out 2. He now has 2 saves on the year. Both Bieber and Clase, they both had trouble missing bats and getting whiffs last year. Like, honestly, look at Clase. It looks like he's lost 5 to 10 pounds, but he's still throwing gas. The Angels of all teams are looking for their 3rd consecutive W, so maybe that team meeting was not a terrible idea. Maybe Miami could use one because they're 0-5 coming into this one, and even Luis Arraez is striking out. Miami, they showed the lack of focus in the 2nd. I mean, it was bad all the way around because Jazz and TA7, they had easy stolen bases, but obviously he swung. He didn't read the room, and then Jazz, he didn't touch 3rd on his way back, so that is a double play to end any sort of momentum. Aaron Hicks, he was facing a lefty, so a high exit velocity, extra base hit was bound to happen. That's a solo home run the other way. Now, that's not an extra base hit, but Hicks, he got a 2nd RBI later on a single up the middle. Taylor Ward, he drove in a 6 RBI scoring Hicks. All for Tyler Anderson, who didn't suck for once. Now, you guys have to repent now because Jesus might be coming back if Tyler Anderson is throwing gems. Zach Neto, a defensive wizard. That is the only thing to call him. What a play. The stop and then the cannon for an arm. Tyler, he struck out Jonah Bride to end his night with 7 scoreless. Is Tyler back or do the Marlins just suck? Brian De La Cruz, he went yard for Miami's first and only run. Luis Garcia, he settled down after that long ball. He struck out Jesus Sanchez. The Halos have won 3 in a row. The Marlins, they're 0-6, so that's 6 in a row. If we're talking about bad teams, we got to find the A's. Now, I know that's mean, but John Fisher, he's got to know that his team stinks. And by the way, look at what was handed out throughout the Coliseum. Basically, handout saying not to promote anything that says Oakland on the gear. And then also, rooted in Oakland, that's some sort of protest or a hashtag down in Oakland. They wanted to basically confiscate anything with that saying. I don't know why the A's are still playing there. It just seems very personal at this point. Trevor Story, he's trying to use those A's as a slump buster. There is an RBI 2-bagger early. Jaron Duran, he wanted some of that. He drove in a run, but actually he was nabbed attempting extra bases. That is not easy because Duran can fly. Shea, he made sure he couldn't get nabbed. Shea Langoliers has popped for days, and it actually looked like he missed the barrel, and still somehow Oakland actually tied it, but there it goes. Pablo Reyes, he put the Red Sox back up by 1. Scratch that. JJ Bleday now has 2 home runs and 3 at-bats versus Brian Bayo over the course of his career. He might finally be breaking out defensively and in the box. Brian Bayo, I ain't gonna lie, he got that extension, which is cool, but he's been pretty bad since the second half of last year. Same with Trevor Story, but like I said, he's using Oakland as a slump buster. That tied it again, and now we have to skip to the 11th. Rafaela, oh my goodness, he robs Shea Langoliers of a game-time double at the very least, and Shea can fly for a catcher. That could have been a triple. He K's Butler to end it. No idea why Butler wasn't sent down instead of Esteury Ruiz. Anyways, the Red Sox, they're 4-2, and they might surprise people this year. Also, real quick for A's fans, I do want to show you Mason Miller because he threw 2 sliders from hell towards the later half of this game. He had a 102 fastball to get another strikeout, and then strikeout number 4, he was gassed up. He was hyped. He needs to be a starter, not a closer. They don't have enough games ahead of them where they're going to be winning for him to actually get saves. The Cardinals might be trying to pull a Boston and really try to shock some people because on paper, they both had some weird off seasons, a weak rotation on paper, especially the Cardinals without Sonny Gray, but so far so good for each team. All this yapping while Cronenworth was making web gems. Campusano, he blooped in an RBI for the game's first run. And St. Louis, they tied it on a Mason Wentz sac fly. He scores Victor Scott, who, by the way, is a rally starter. That kid is so good. His contact and speed tools are insane. You know what else is insane? Ha-Sung Kim's glove. He robs Nolan Arenado. He's looking for another gold glove. Tyler Wade, he did the smart thing and hit it away from anyone that could possibly catch it. He doubles in Campusano to give the Padres a lead. Yu Darvish was frying on the bump, but he left an 87-mile-per-hour meatball to Wilson Contreras, and Contreras has been deleting baseballs lately. You just can't leave it there. St. Louis had the bases loaded in the 8th, and a brain fart by Luis Campusano. His foot was off the bag. Maybe he was worried about blocking or something like that. Ivan Herrera, his sac fly made it 5-2, which was plenty for Ryan Helsley. He punched out 2. He got Xander to pop up, and the Cardinals, they win the series. The Rays might be doing it again, and what do I mean by that? Eflin, he was doing his thing, striking out a few Rangers early, and Wyatt Langford jolted a ball in the gap, but Sammy Sosa, Ahmed Rosario, he tracked it down. Tampa Bay needs to be investigated for Illuminati practices because what is that? Andrew Heaney, he deflected a for sure Yandy Diaz ground out away from everyone. Caballero scores easy. Yandy, he's about to get bailed out again. He gets on because Walsh dropped it, and then Harold Ramirez, he goes the other way. He rips one to right field. Randy, he does what Randy always does. He clutches up, and then Isaac Paredes, he's got unreal power. That Austin Meadows for Isaac Paredes trade is looking like one of the more lopsided trades of the last decade. It's been awful because Meadows, he got DFA'd. Zach Eflin was really good. He struck out Corey Seager and Evan Carter. He ended up going 4 1/3 with 5 strikeouts, just 1 walk allowed. Now we're going to skip to the 9th inning where Texas actually is challenging. Pete Fairbanks has 2 runners on, and Leote, he thought he got all of that one. He thought it was a game-tying 3-run home run, but Randy, he makes the play. Got to hit the weight room or eat your Wheaties, Leote. That's not gone. Let's see if the Jays can bounce back after getting no-hit by a 30-year-old journeyman relief pitcher. I'm sorry, Ronel Blanco, but hey, I was shocked by that. George Springer reached 10 years of service time in this game, and of course it happened against his former team, the Astros. A nice little homage to him on the scoreboard. Toronto will not be no-hit today. Bo had a little base knock single, and he's going to have to get on his horse. Justin Turner, he smoked one down the line, but the relay team for the Astros, they got it done. Bo was barely behind the tag, so he's out. Same with this next play, just without a relay. Springer, he hoses Chas McCormick, robbed him of extra bases. So it's 0-0, but at least it was entertaining. Altuve, he said, I'm going to take over now. Baseball, meat bleachers. He's hitting .360 with 2 home runs, and then defensively, he's usually a butcher. He made a sick play in the 7th to start a double play. Framber, he went 7 shutout, but not much time to talk about Framber. Sorry, Framber fans. Hader, he's trying not to implode again. It's got to be nerves at this point because David Schneider, build the statue now. His 2-run home run put the Jays up by a single run, and then former Yankee Chad Green, he did what Hader kind of refuses to do. He got a 4-out save. Off the bat, I thought Chaz hit it 700 feet, but it was an easy, lofty can of corn, and the Jays do bounce back. Just barely, though. So the Jays win by 1, and the winner of this next one also won by 1. What a play to kickstart this game. Willy Adames is a vacuum over there at shortstop. I wonder if he's going to get traded. The rookie, Jackson Chourio, he walked up with the bases loaded. His first at-bat at home, he got a nice standing ovation, and that's a nice approach right there. Just going the other way to drive an RBI. Milwaukee, they only got 1 from all of that, but here they come again. The 2018 MVP, Christian Yelich. Hold on. I'm about to get emotional. He's already up to 2 home runs and 2 stolen bases. That one went 425 feet. He's trying to take his crown back as an elite player. Bryce Terang, he doubled in another. And just a fun fact from Fuzzy, Bryce Terang is hitting 500 with 6 stolen bases already. What is that? The Brewers were thankful that he smoked that insurance double because the Twins got right back into it. There was a sac fly from Matt Wallner, and then skipping to the 7th inning, Christian Vasquez, he was able to squeeze out 1 more run on a sac fly. Payampas, he was trying his best to blow the lead when Oliver Dunn, he dolphin dive from Black Ops 1 to rob Byron Buxton, and then moments later, Dunn actually got a taste of his own medicine. He got robbed. Carlos Santana, he stole a base hit, but he couldn't clutch up with the bat. He grounds out. Abner Uribe, he's got 3 saves in 4 games. The Brewers, they're one of the handful of teams still undefeated. This was one of those games where I said, who the hell is that? Like the Conor McGregor, who the F is that guy when doing my script? We'll talk about the dude in a second. The Royals went up 1 on a 2nd inning single from Nick Lofton. That's his first base hit of 2024. Maikel Garcia, he has 4 base hits on the year. He drives in 2. He's up to 5 RBIs. And by the way, all 4 of his base hits this year have been extra base hits. Colton Cowser, he barely made contact. Like the ball hit the top of his bat. It looked like he was playing billiards. Like it was a little pool shot. That ends up being an RBI double off of Alec Marsh. Maikel, he had Marsh's back. He just barely missed his 3rd home run of the year, but that's an RBI stand-up triple. 5 extra base hits and 6 RBIs through 5 games. Okay, now we can show this mystery player. We said his name a few moments ago. Alec Marsh went 7 innings against the mighty Orioles. 5 strikeouts, just 2 base hits, and the most impressive part, he did it on 76 pitches, 54 of them for strikes. He's got to tip your cap. He was fantastic. Then the 3-time World Series champion, Will Smith, he went 1-2-3. He wrapped up his first save of the year. This Kansas City Royals pitching staff is good. That does it for today's recap. I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, join the team, hit that subscribe button, and enjoy the web gems.
Coming in with the 2-2. Ripped to left field. Hernandez diving and
grounded and grabbed on the dive. The long throw, good play.
Rizzo serves one into left. Lourdes is there. Here's Mountcastle. This is all he does. Yeah. All he does is rob.
That fastball surprised him upstairs.
Another soft ground ball from De La Cruz. Rendon, bare hand throw, and Shotwell with the tag.